artist behind My Salty Studio. In November 2021, she began sharing her mesmerizing art through Reels and TikToks, rapidly building a social media following of 434,000 people across various platforms in under 2 years. Cassie now collaborates with brands through content creation, sells her art, and teaches thousands of students globally. Please welcome Cassie Salomon.
I never imagined that I would be standing here on a stage in front of people talking about social media engagement, but here I am. Tonight I'm going to be talking a little bit about how I turned my art hobby into my career, and also I'll be getting into some advice about social media engagement and how, if you want, you can grow your social media. My talk is going to be kind of informative, so strap in and get your notepads out because we're going to be covering some good content. But first, a little bit about me. So I studied primary education and I do casual teaching here and there, but my main job is being an artist and being a content creator. This is my art, this is what I do, and I describe it as textured art. And I started back in November 2021 just as a hobby. But let's take a step back even further. So this is 2-year-old Cassie. Everybody say, "Aww." I know. I was always fascinated by art and creative play from a really young age. And then when I was about 12 years old, I started doing art classes. I went with my mum. And then throughout high school, I did art as well, and then have always just been interested in art ever since, really. So I guess that's where my love for art sparked. Regarding social media and content creation, now that I look back, I can kind of see that I've always loved creating content. From when I was a teenager, I made YouTube videos and posted them to YouTube. They were very 2012 YouTube, and now that I'm saying this out loud, I feel like I need to go back and make some videos private. Okay. And then now recently, I share a lot of my personal life on my Instagram through Reels and Stories, and I just find a lot of creativity through that. I love doing that. So it kind of makes sense that I'm doing content creation for work. Okay, back into 2021. This was the beginning of My Salty Studio, and at the end of this year, I had my very first paid artwork, which is this one here. And I started posting videos of me painting to social media, to TikTok specifically first, and my social media presence began to grow from there. So I was posting time-lapse videos, paint with me style videos, tutorials, and even some ASMR videos, which is kind of random, but they go off, like people just love them. It's interesting. But yeah, mostly just relaxing type of videos. But as my presence grew, I noticed that there was 3 types of followers that I was getting. So I was getting people who wanted to buy my art, people who wanted to just watch my videos because they found them satisfying, and then thirdly, people who wanted to learn how to do it themselves. So that is what inspired the launch of my online workshops, which now I teach people how to create my type of art all across the world. I also have launched these texture tools as well, and these textured art kits, which haven't been released yet, but they're in the works. They're literally being made at the moment. When you're on social media, your life is obviously very public, and anyone can say anything, and you need thick skin. I actually first blew up on TikTok when a video of mine was getting a lot of hate comments. So I've actually screenshotted some of them, and we're going to read through them tonight. So this was a very popular one. It says, "My niece can make one at Kinder for me for free." This one, "My 3-year-old can do that." Okay. I said, "Ask her to then." Good. It's fun. Next one. "You really think you need talent for that?" Thank you, Lara. Okay. Getting paid to finger paint. Brilliant. Okay, Warren. "Well, that was a waste of my time. Hope you're happy." Elle, thank you, I am happy, actually. This one's a good one. Can't call that art. Don't take any skills to do that, lol. Lynn. This is such a Lynn comment, don't you think? Like, just look at her. She's so sweet. Next, Kent. She's been learning this since preschool and it hasn't got much better either. Okay. Next. Oh, this one's good. Ever notice how all of these artists making mesmerising whatnot always involves a gorgeous 20-something girl? I've been to art schools. This is not accurate. David, thanks for calling me gorgeous, by the way. I really needed that. This one's super popular. Okay, yeah, cool, I already have this art on my ceiling. All right, I know this was like a thing back in the olden days. Okay, I'm saying it, olden days. Okay, great, free art on your walls. Amazing, good for you. This one's also a good one, very cute. This raccoon has more talent. Oh, it's kind of cute though, so I get it. So now, okay, when you get a lot of engagement through comments, shares, likes, all of that, you get more engagement, which means you get more views. So now that video, that original video that got all the hate, that's sitting at 9.9 million views, and my biggest video is 23 million views. So all I can say is thank you to all you nasty people. All right. TikTok and Instagram Reels have revolutionized the way that we create and consume content on social media. They have a higher engagement rate than other forms of content, such as photos, and they give us the power to connect with millions of people across the world. I posted a TikTok of me surfing at Kirra Beach, and I tagged the location, and a girl named Faith commented on my video. She's from New Zealand, and she said, I'm moving to the Gold Coast soon, and I'd really love to make some friends. And so when she moved over, we connected, and now she is one of my closest friends. So with social media, you just never know who you're going to reach. And that is actually not the only friendship I have that started that exact way. But with 1.6 billion people on Instagram and 1.1 on TikTok, all sharing content, how do we stand out? Well, let's get into it. And this is the part where you're going to need your notepad, but don't stress because I can share these slides with you later as well if you need. So first one, there's 4. First one, setting up a business account. So firstly, when you set up your account, you can either choose to have it personal or business. When you have it as a business account, this will just open up a whole new avenue of features for you, such as viewing your page analytics and your demographics. You can actually see what time your followers are most active, and you can see male, female, percentage, and all that too, age and everything. So the next thing is you're going to make sure that you have a searchable username, and make sure that it's not like user 135799283, okay? It needs to be your name. Tell people what you do, make sure it makes sense. So if you have a jewelry brand or something like that, I would say Cassie Handmade Jewelry Gold Coast. And that way, when people search up for handmade jewelry on the Gold Coast, you're going to be the first one that pops up. So same thing with the church account. We need to say who we are and where we are in our name. Next one is having a clear bio. You have 150 characters to sell yourself. So explain what you do, how you do it, and maybe where you are, and maybe some credentials too. So for my business account, I don't know if you can really see that, I've got my name, artist, plain and simple, I say I create and teach textured art, commissions open, art on my website, and then I direct people if they want to work with me to my email, and then I also have a link to my website there. And lastly, use story highlights. So in your story highlights, you can put your frequently asked questions. So for example, if we're a church account, you want to say start here, and it will have maybe ways to connect with the church. Next highlight might have your service times. Next highlight might be about Cafe Connect or your Friday night program, things like that. Have all of your key information right there so people know who you are. All right, so now we have our account set up. How do we actually make good content? I film using my phone. You can use a fancy camera too, but most people just use their phone. But the important thing to remember is to film in portrait orientation. So having your phone up, we all know what portrait means, for anything that you're posting on TikTok and Instagram. For the first time ever, vertical videos are being prioritized across all social media platforms. So even if you aren't filming in portrait, you want to edit and crop it down into portrait for when you're posting. It'll just look so much better. Once you have filmed, you can edit using the apps TikTok or Instagram, or you can use CapCut or Splice. This is all just on your phone. Okay. Now that we know how to film, where to edit, let's look at some tips on how to actually make content that is good. So first of all, you want to start your videos off with a hook. This might be a bold statement or a question or starting right in the middle of the action. They say you've got 3 seconds to catch your audience before they scroll on. So you need to have the most important thing within the first 3 seconds or something catchy. For example, in one of my videos, I started off by saying, I just did something I never thought I would do. Okay? All it was just a video of me shaping my surfboard. It wasn't that dramatic. But people were immediately thinking, what was she doing? What did she do? What did she do? So they watched the video. It was good. Next, make fast-paced cuts. This one's kind of funny and embarrassing for our generation, but anyway. Cut your video every 2 to 3 seconds because it recaptures their attention, okay? This is just saying what our attention span's not very good, but it works, okay? Next thing is add in closed captions. Only 15% of people actually watch Reels and TikToks with the sound on. So if you're not putting captions on, you're missing 85% of your potential audience. And lastly, this one's an easy one, use trending sounds is another great tip. You'll know a sound is trending if it's got this little arrow next to the sound in the Instagram or TikTok app. Okay, let's regroup and refocus and listen because that's a lot of information, but this part is really important. In order to get what you want, you have to find those that can give it to you, that can give you what you want, identify what they want, and then provide it for them. So if you want to reach people outside of your circle, then you need to identify your target audience and ask yourself, what do they want? And then brainstorm together with your team ways that you can provide that for them through content. On social media, we have this what's in it for me culture. Most people don't just follow you if they don't know you because they want to support you. They follow you because they see value in your content and they can see what they can get out of it for them. So for my art page, people follow because either they just want to relax and they want to watch my videos, or they want to figure out how to do art themselves, or they want to copy designs or things like that. They see designs and they want to learn from me. People need to know what's in it for them. So how can we use these strategies as a church? Well, unlike most other businesses and accounts, churches don't actually have to plan to film content for the specific reason of content creation, because we have a sermon every week that goes for 45 minutes, and at most churches it is filmed already. So when we're looking at what people want and what people need to see, let's pull the highlights from our sermons, from our events, and then chop them into small bite-sized pieces for easy consumption. Because that is the type of content that is going to reach new people. If we can be taking the highlights and taking all of the yummy bits, the parts that make us go wow, then that might catch someone's attention on the For You page. Then in the caption of that video, we can refer them to the link in our bio where the full video is, if they want to, okay? Then, so it's not like fully giving them the full video to watch because they might not have that much time at that moment, but you're catching their attention, catching someone's attention, getting their interest. So this is just one small example of how we can be utilizing these strategies as a church. But if I can leave you with the one takeaway, it is to remember the what's in it for me. Identify a target audience, discover what they want and what they see value in, and then provide it for them. Provide it consistently too. No one's going to follow a page that hasn't been posting consistently or recently. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you were able to get something out of this short session. But if you want these slides or you have any questions, please email me or message me on social media, and I'm happy to help out where I can. But thank you.
Is a young creative with a passion